So to be honest, I kind of forgot about this. I saw the nominees of the Game Awards, and I know there's a lot of stuff going on with that. Um, but I realized, you know what? I haven't done this before. Actually, of all my years, I haven't actually voted in the Game Awards. So I kind of want to go through these. There's going to be a lot of these I don't know, and I think the way that it's sorted, and I'm going to go to previous slides because it started me on Game of the Year, but I don't want to start and lead off with Game of the Year, obviously. So we're going to go through this and just cast my votes and see what I choose on this, right? So some of this, like I said, esports team, like I have no clue. I don't keep up with esports. I have no freaking clue who's deserving of this or should get it. I'm sure they're all very talented and deserve it in their own right, but I don't know. So some of these games, by the way, on here as we get through, in fact, a lot of these I haven't finished. So they're my votes based on how I've played it, and my experience with it doesn't mean that it's going to win or I think it's the best thing ever. So I know some people, when it gets to voting stuff like this, if someone doesn't choose the thing you chose, it's the end of the world. Okay. They're all deserving. They're all on here. Well, probably most of them are deserving, right? So we'll go through and see. So congratulations, esports team, Team Falcons. You are the champion for that. Okay. Best esports athlete, kind of in the same boat. You know what? I'll wither it down to two guys because of Street Fighter, and so I prefer those franchises better. Let's see. We'll give it to, I'm probably gonna mispronounce the name, but Kakeru. Okay, best esports game. At the very least, I also don't care about most of these. I will say I've played League of Legends more than any of these others. So I feel like just by process of elimination, that probably makes the most sense. The esports stuff, I don't really know. Okay, content creator of the year. This is also one where I am familiar with some of them, not all of them. I feel like just solely based on whose videos I've seen the most, probably got to go with Moist Critical, to be honest. I wish I knew more about some of the others, but I mean, these two are like the two I know the most. So, but I watch more of Moist Critical stuff, so we're going that one. Okay, most anticipated game. This one's actually pretty hard for me. Mainly out of two. I think this category is probably going still to Grand Theft Auto 6, even with the latest stuff with them. I still think it's probably the mass audiences. I think it's going to choose that. This is definitely my third. My first two, just my interest is between Wolverine and The Witcher. And this is what makes this one hard, because when I first saw these games that were on here and I saw Wolverine, I was like, this is number one. This is it. This is the one. And then they showed Witcher 4 and I'm like, shit, I forgot about that game. Well, I mean, I didn't forget about it, but I forgot like it could be on this, right? That they put this on this. It makes it incredibly difficult because I love these games. However, I think the tiebreaker for me is the fact that I can play The Witcher 3 still. Witcher 2, whatever. You know, you get old, The Witcher 1, it gets a little dated, but I mean, so does the second one in a way. But I can play The Witcher 3, right? I can't play a modern Wolverine game unless I want to play like Marvel Rivals or something, right? You got to go way back. So I think I have to still give it to Marvel's Wolverine. Wolverine's my boy. And I'm super excited to play like a modern Wolverine game, and it looks awesome. So I'm going to give it to Wolverine. Okay, best adaptation. This one's hard too, because I have yet to watch any of these. And to be honest, I really don't have an interest of watching The Last of Us. So it's hard for me to say. The Minecraft movie I did see, and to be honest, I'm not a big Minecraft guy. And seeing the movie, I also was kind of meh. But at the same time, because it's the only one I have the most knowledge of, and like the stuff from Minecraft that's in there, I thought was pretty good. I really didn't want to vote for it, but because I haven't seen any of these, I have to do it. So we're going to Minecraft. All right, best multiplayer. This one, for those of you who don't know, I'm not a big PvP person. Okay, I like co-op experiences, single player experiences, PvE stuff. With the exception of sometimes fighting games where I'll play online and play other people. But for the most part, I don't have the time for it really, and it's just really not my interest. However, I did play a bit of Split Fiction, and I did enjoy it, playing through it with my wife, and she's not a gamer, so that was fun. But we didn't finish it, and there's still some parts of it. It just doesn't really, I don't know. Peak, I have no idea what this is. Maybe I'm living under a rock, but I have no idea. Elden Ring Night Rain, I did play, and probably like most people, got angry and frustrated with it because I'm dying a lot. However, I liked the concept of it. I liked the innovation that they did with it, at least for, it shouldn't work, but it kind of does for what it is, even though I personally, it does have issues. I think it moves a little too fast for my take on it. Battlefield 6, tried it again with PvP stuff. I enjoyed it for what it was, the little bit I played, but it's just really not my thing. And the Arc Raiders, I tried it, but it's extraction shooters are not my thing. I really had no interest. To be fair, I didn't give it a fair shot, but it just wasn't something that I was gonna really care about. So I think I have to do Elden Ring Night Rain, just because I've played it the most of all of these, and it's a little more up my alley, despite the stuff I don't like about it. So we're gonna go there. All right, esports and racing. This one to me is super easy. It's totally Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. This game, and by the way, I don't like racing very much. Mario Kart's like my racing jam, but World disappointed me in a lot of ways, with the number one being, for me and my family, there's no custom items, at least as far as I'm aware. They haven't updated to add custom items to your races, because there are items I hate. I hate Mario Kart, and that irritated the hell out of me. Sonic Racing surprised me with just the innovations that are in it. It's kind of a Mario Kart clone, but it's also different. And they just did so much, like the what do you call them, the gadgets, and the way you can kind of customize the your own personal racing experience. The maps were cool, the characters are cool, that the additions to the added, crossover characters and stuff were awesome. Sorry, phone went off there a little bit. But those were awesome. And I genuinely was impressed and thought it would kind of beat out Mario Kart for me as far as a racing game. So I'm going to give it to Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Okay, best sim and strategy. This one's a little more up my alley. But there's one big caveat with it. I want to play Final Fantasy Tactics, but I have not had the chance to play it yet. And something tells me that if I were to play it, I probably would choose this. However, I have not done so. I haven't played the 3 on the right, and Civ 7 kind of disappointed me, and I'm not even a big Civilization fan. There's some parts I like about it as a new player to that franchise that I liked about it. But man, Jurassic World, dude, I played the second one not that long ago, and I never thought I would ever like a park builder game, and that game was awesome. And I bought this, and I played it, and I still play it, and I think it's awesome. And I can't believe I'd give the vote to a park builder, just my own personal thing, but I got to go Jurassic World 3. I really enjoyed it. I think people should give it a shot if they haven't. If you like dinosaurs, which who doesn't like dinosaurs? Like, come on. It's cool. But I do want to try Final Fantasy Tactics, and I probably would like it if I did that. But I'm assuming, right, this is the remake thing, right? Maybe it's a different one, but I assume that's that one. So Jurassic World. Okay, next on the list, best family. This one also is kind of interesting because for a family game, I feel like Donkey Kong Bonanza will get a lot of votes, even Mario Kart World still. I haven't played any of these Lego ones, but for me and my family, I'm the only one that's played Donkey Kong Bonanza, right? But like I said, with Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, I play that with my wife. She would play this game with me. And so I think for that reason, I still have to give it to Sonic. Like Donkey Kong, I think is a great family game too. I mean, obviously, probably all of these are, but man, I love Sonic Racing more than I really thought I would, and I'm not even a big Sonic Racer fan, but this game was awesome. Okay, best fighting. This one, honestly, right off the bat, for me personally, I got to cut out Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. I love Mortal Kombat, but that collection is ass from what I played. And I'm not even like, dude, literally in fighting games, like I said, I'm an average player in that, probably below average. My brain cannot, my eyes don't pick up like input delay a lot but like the amount of input delay this game had, and maybe still has, dude, it was crazy. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare, and it didn't run the way that I was hoping it would. I couldn't touch it. Haven't really played much of this, and so I did play a little bit of the update, but ultimately for me, it comes down to between 2XKO and Fatal Fury, because I did play Fatal Fury and I enjoy it. I like the art style. The characters are cool. A lot of modes in it, but I've played 2XKO the most, and I've actually have not played online matches in Fatal Fury. My ass went out and played online matches in 2XKO, which is unusual for me, to be honest. It doesn't happen often, and I enjoyed it. So for that, I got to give it to 2XKO. Okay, I'm actually looking forward to see what they do in the future. Next up, the best RPG. Now we're getting into the good stuff. Now we're getting into kind of my territory of stuff I like. Okay. This one is not as tough for me as you might think, even though I know a lot of people are probably going to have their own opinions on what they think. Okay, there's going to be a lot of people that I think love The Outer Worlds 2, and that's their RPG of the year. A lot of people I like Monster Hunter. A lot of people are going to like Kingdom Come. A lot of people are going to like Expedition 33. Probably less people are going to like Avowed, but some people are probably going to like Avowed. For me personally, it is an easy win for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And I'll tell you why. Number one, I have not finished Expedition 33. I've played like 5 hours of it. And we'll get to that in another section, because there's stuff I'll talk about in another section. But this game is right up my alley. I love the setting. I love the choices. I love the ability, like there's just the things you can do with Henry and the different play styles. And I played through this a few times playing through it different ways. And it's awesome. Haven't done any DLC with it, but I love this game. I like Warhorse. They did a fantastic job with their sequel, and I love that game. For me, it's a no-brainer on this. And again, like I said, guys, this is my vote, my choices. I know there's gonna be a lot of fans of these other games that I'm not selecting. They're all great. I loved Monster Hunter Worlds despite its or Monster Hunter Wild, right? Wilds, for what it was, but it has a lot of problems, and it just didn't captivate me like World did, right? So, and the Expedition 33, I haven't finished it. Haven't played it long enough, and on top of that, I think it's a little more linear experience from what I did play that just doesn't have the freedom that Kingdom Come does that I like. So best action adventure game. This one is also interesting because I feel like I said that a lot. I feel like I should stop saying this is interesting. I have not played a lot of Death Stranding 2. I bought it, and I really do want to finish it because I actually one of the people that liked the first one. It was different, but I liked it. And Ghost of Yotei I'm working through actively. And I do like it. I don't like it as much as the first one, though. I have Silk Song. Haven't played much of that either. And I don't have this anymore because I was trying it on Game Pass. But of all of these that I've tried and have liked, like I want to play Indiana Jones again. Like I want to buy it and play through it. Because for me, it's like when we talk about action adventure game, even its title, combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving, like Ghost of Yotei so far, it's like I don't have any puzzles really as far that are, if it does, like difficult puzzles per se. It's got great combat. I love the action in it. But as a whole, it's hard to say between these two because there's a lot that Ghost of Yotei I think does better. There's a lot that Indiana Jones does better. There's probably a lot that Silk Song does better than all of them, and things with Death Stranding. So this one's tough because if I were to give it a vote based on just which game I've played the most, Ghost of Yotei takes it. But my heart tells me that that's not the choice. And I'm drawn into Indiana Jones because of what I have played of it. And I actually played a decent bit of it, but I probably have to start over because I don't have Game Pass anymore. I really enjoyed it, man. It took me back. I felt a lot of things with this game. That's like another topic for another time, but I got to give it to Indiana Jones. Okay, best action game. There's a lot of good stuff in this one. I never played Shinobi, but I heard a lot of great things about it. Doom, I tried to play, and I don't know about you guys, but with the Dark Ages, I fell out of that one fast. I really fell out of that one fast. I had way more fun in Eternal, and it's been a while, so I can't really put my finger on what it was. but there was something about Dark Ages that it just did not captivate me. I can't give it to Battlefield 6 just because of the type of gamer I am. Like, it's just not my cup of tea for this. But when we want to talk about primarily combat focused stuff, like, yes, Doom fits that. And even Hades, I think, I mean, it's a roguelike, it's combat's every, early game. But Ninja Gaiden 4, despite its flaws and a lot of other things, and this is another one I haven't finished because I had it in Game Pass and don't have it anymore. Yeah, I've seen people say the world, the level design, all that stuff's not as interesting, but the combat is awesome. And there's a lot of stuff you can do in it. And so for an action game that, again, focused primarily on combat, I have to give it to Ninja Gaiden 4. And it's a game that's more up my alley. Like, it's just a cool game. The action's fun. It's bloody. It's sweet, dude. So I got to give it to that one. Okay, best VR and AR. I do have a MetaQuest 3. And I haven't really played any of these. I played about an hour of Alien Rogue Incursion, and I just never went back to it or touched it again. I feel like I should click this one because I've played it. I think that's fair. I did watch a review of Marvel's Deadpool VR, and I feel like this one is fun. I feel like this one would be fun. I feel like this would be a great pick. I just don't know if I can pick it if, I've never even played it at all compared to Alien Rogue Incursion. So maybe this isn't a popular game. I don't know, but I'll pick it because it's Alien and I've played it. Best mobile game. It kind of comes down to two for me, and that's Destiny Rising or Wuthering Waves. And the reason for that is I've played both of them. I was more surprised by Destiny Rising because I did not expect it to be as good as it was for what it is. Wuthering Waves, I like it, but it does have the cool, it's Genshin Impact, but looks different a little bit. So it didn't surprise me as much, even though it is different. There are differences to it. However, when I look at the game, that if I had a choice to pick one to play, I would still choose Wuthering Waves. Just because it was just more interesting as a gameplay experience than Destiny for me. Even though it is a really tough one, because Destiny Rising would surprise me of how much I enjoyed playing it right off the bat, but I hadn't touched it since a week after it came out. So I will still give this to Wuthering Waves. And I'll even do it too, because my brother plays it and likes it. So I'll even give it that extra boost. Okay, best debut indie game. This one is interesting. I think this is the one where I forget the name of the game, and to be honest, I never heard of it, so it's probably not as drama for me, but pulled their game out of the awards, which, hey, they can do what they want to do. I won't get into that. But for the four that are in here now, this is another one that's, I almost said interesting again, but it kind of is. Dispatch is really cool. I haven't played it, but the concept is really cool. For like a visual novel type game, I thought that was really cool. However, and again, I'm going to go based on the category, whether these studios, or how, which is a studio's bigger, which one actually is smaller, whatever. For an indie game, I still am going to give this to Expedition 33 because that's still a game that's more in my vein of what I would actually look forward to playing. I want to play Dispatch for sure. But if I have to, if I had to sit down and someone forced me, you got to pick one game, I'm probably going to pick Expedition 33. And for what this game does, even from the bit I've played of it, is really cool, and really well done. Even though there's some things about it I don't particularly like, but we're going to give it to Expedition 33. And Expedition 33, by the way, is probably the game I'm expecting to sweep a lot of this. Best independent game. I am about to play Absalom. Okay, this is a game I'm a friend of mine. We really want to play this. I really want to play it. Excited for it. And it may actually could have potentially taken my vote. However, I'm still probably going to give this to Expedition 33, to be honest. I feel like this kind of falls in the same line of the previous talking points, so I won't give too much in that, but that's going to be my pick. Okay, best community support. I am biased on this one. I'm a little biased on this one. No Man's Sky, I haven't played in a long time. That one's going to be out for me, even though I have to commend them for the support they have given the game over the years. It's crazy for how that game came out. Helldivers 2, I do like that game. They've done a lot of cool stuff with it, but it's still, I haven't played it in a while. And I don't know if there's something I can go back to it anytime soon. Fortnite does always crazy crap. They like, people crap on Fortnite. I used to be one of them. Long time ago. I started playing it when they introduced the zero building stuff. Oh man, I started playing that a lot, and they do a lot of stuff, man. Fortnite is a great contender for a lot of things. You know what, maybe I should read the caption on this one because it might not be what I think. Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates patch. Okay, so there's still updates and patches. I don't know the rest about that with like social media activity and stuff with a lot of these, but Final Fantasy 14, I do love that game, man. But I like, from what I understand, I haven't made it that far. I'm not subscribed to it anymore. I think I made it to Shadowbringers, but it's like, I heard the latest expansion just did not do well. But I feel like that studio, Yoshi P and stuff, like they are pretty good with like communication for the most, from what I remember. But dude, Larian Studios are awesome, man. Like, I bought Baldur's Gate 3 back when you just had Act 1. You like kind of pre-purchased it, right? Early access was. And the stuff that they changed and continue to change and add to this game is crazy. And to be honest, I don't know if they're still doing it. I assume if it's on this list, they're still updating stuff. But the mod support, dude, people still are playing this game way more than I thought they would because of these updates. And obviously Fortnite, people still play that a lot. A lot of people play Final Fantasy 14, all these games, but Baldur's Gate 3 shocked me of how well it did for like a CRPG, for like a D&D style game that normally doesn't attract a lot of attention in those style of games. This thing like blew them out of the water. And Larian is just such a like, dude, they seem like such a gamer, like gamer first studio, and I love it. They got my vote for sure. All right, best ongoing. I feel like Fortnite's on this list a lot, and I feel like it takes it a lot. Maybe I'm misremembering things, but I feel like it does. However, for me, I love Marvel Rivals, and I was incredibly impressed with when that game came out. I was already impressed, and I don't like hero shooters that much. I think I made a video before I took a long break that I liked it when I didn't like Overwatch, all this other stuff. There's so much I love about this game, but the thing that is crazy to me that makes me pick it is how quickly and effectively they add new characters and skins and new content to the game in such a quick manner, and it's actually good. Like, their skins are great. The characters that come out they're not, at least again, I haven't played hundreds and hundreds of hours of it, but like, they're functional, they work, they look good. They're not just like a skin. I mean, it's a whole new character, right? So, Fortnite gets a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day, they're still going to hold an AK or something. Like, they're not a unique skill set. They have custom emotes that they do in MVP screens for this. Like, there's a lot of stuff they do, and they do a lot of YouTube. There's a lot of posts of like their plans for the future. Like, they seem very passionate about the game and love it. And you can feel that. And they added zombies, which I played one time, but like, it's actually pretty decent. And they want to do more with PV, which I'm all about. So I got to give it to Marvel Rivals, dude. I'm surprised how much I love this game. In fact, if I had to choose any of these games to play, I would pick Marvel Rivals. And I love Final Fantasy 14, dude. But I would pick Marvel Rivals. In that game. And this game pisses me off too, by the way. It irritates me. But man, do I love the stuff they added to it. And it's impressive. All right, games for impact. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Honestly, I don't know anything about this category. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, yada, 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 yada. I'll pick South of Midnight. Innovation and accessibility. This is always a hard one for me too, because I don't really pay attention to it. And I don't know what all of them have, to be honest. So because out of all of these games, Man, I got a lot of beef with Assassin's Creed, as do a lot of people in recent times. I'll give it to Doom. I'll give it to Doom. And I don't even know what they have in there, but I'll give it to Doom. Best performance. This one hurts me. This one hurts me because there are a lot of voice actors on here that I freaking love, dude. Ben Starr is awesome. Charlie Cox was impressive. Jennifer English, who doesn't love Jennifer English, especially after Baldur's Gate, right? Like, her voice is unique. She always does a great job. And Troy Baker's I'm trying not to F-bomb, but is a legend. And I didn't play Silent Hill F. And I even though I played Ghost of Yotei, I played it in Japanese. So I can't really speak for her either. However, for me personally, I played, like, again, I've only played 5 hours of Expedition 33. And I believe Charlie Cox voices the main, I forget his name, the main character you start with. And I forget the girl's name, but Jennifer English voices her. And they did great. And I'm sure they do. And I'm sure Ben Starr is amazing. They all do great. But dude, and honestly, I was looking for a way not to pick Troy Baker. Because I feel like he does so damn good. I feel like he may not even win this, by the way. I'm sure a lot of people are going to choose, Ben Starr or Jennifer English, whatever. But for me, Troy Baker does such a good job in like everything he's in. Like he's the guy to beat, in my opinion, for this lineup. But when I played Indiana Jones, the way he voices Indy is so impressively done. It kind of blows my mind, and it captivated me to play more of Indiana Jones. I actually felt like I was playing a character voicing by Harrison Ford. You know what I mean? It was like that good. It's obviously not perfect, right? But it's pretty darn good. And I got to give it to him. You know, as much as it hurts me, my second choice, honestly, is probably Jennifer English, because I really like her voice. I love her performances, but I gotta go. I gotta give it to Troy. I gotta give it to Troy, but they're all great. I'm sure Konatsu, probably mispronounced that, and Erica, I'm sure they're great too, but I gotta give it to Troy. Gosh, that one hurts me though. That one hurts me. Best audio design. This one, I'm not a big audio person. My ear is difficult in some of these aspects when it comes to like in-game audio and sound design. I think by Battlefield 6 did actually good. I don't recall 33. I'm sure this one's really hard because I just don't have an ear for it. However, I think Death Stranding 2 does a really good job. A really good job. I feel like the first one did as well. Like the sound, I feel like was really important in that game. And I'm gonna give it to him. I'm not gonna harp too much on it, but I'm gonna give it to him. Okay, best score in music. This one's a little bit easier for me, even though I feel like sometimes I get these two mixed up with the audio. When it comes to the music, okay, without question, even within the first few hours, I'm giving this to Expedition 33. Music and storytelling, which we're going to get to narrative too, but storytelling and like music and the way the story is told intertwine a great deal. And if your music is not that good, like I'm a big fan of the Lord of the Rings movies, right? Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. The score in those movies, the music is, every one of them's a banger. Every one of them fits and is perfect. It makes the story even that much better. So I'm giving that to 33. I'm sure the rest of them have good ones too, but dude, that one's great. Best art direction. Art's an interesting one. For outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. This one I feel like is so, they're all subjective, right? But art direction is always interesting for me when I look at a game and I'm thinking like, wow, this looks beautiful. I mean, just the stuff that the direction, everything about it. For me, like, I want to say 33. I really do. But I think Death Stranding 2, and I think Death Stranding 2 is like an underdog in this, I think based on the way people will vote. But I think the art direction in Death Stranding is so cool. I think it's so cool. So I'm probably going to give it to that one. You know, I think Death Stranding 2 and just that style of game is different for a lot of just isn't appealing to a lot of people, but man, dude, I think it's pretty cool. Best narrative. This is kind of what I want to talk about a little bit, because this one is between two games easily for me. And that's Kingdom Come and that's Expedition 33. And this is what's hard for me, because as a game, I love Kingdom Come a lot more. It's more up my alley. Henry is an awesome character, which, by the way, I'm surprised. I thought, and I'm forgetting his name on the top of my head right now, which I'm very disappointed in myself for doing that. But for Henry and Hans, I'm surprised their voice actors also weren't nominated. At least one of them was nominated, because they both do a phenomenal job with their characters. But Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is such an awesome storytelling. Like, it's just, it tells a great story. But Expedition 33 did something to me that was unique that I don't do a lot. I'm not a big crier. I'm not. And the first few hours of that game, I don't know if it hit me at a certain time in my life or whatever, but the first few hours of that game, like, actually brought tears to my eyes. And that is hard to do. It seems unfair to me to not pick Kingdom Come Deliverance. And from what I've heard, the ending of Expedition 33 has some issues, from what I've heard. Maybe it doesn't, but that's what I've heard. But from what it did in the beginning to captivate me, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, right? There's a lot of open area. There's a lot of things you can tell your own story and make your own story. For Expedition 33, I feel like is more linear. Maybe it opens up later, but from my experience, it's very like, you know, you hit the beats of the story the whole time, pretty much. It's not as, you don't have these huge long where you can spend dozens of hours where you're kind of away from the story. But for what it did for me, dude, like, I have to give it to Expedition 33 on that. I really do. Okay, best game direction for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. This one for me actually is also going to go to 33 for a simple reason of that, like, well, I wouldn't say a simple reason, and it's actually probably not as, you know, clear, but I feel like Death Stranding 2, I feel like the first one was definitely innovative because it's something we haven't really seen before, but 2 is a sequel. So is Ghost of Yote. So is Hades 2. It doesn't, and Split Fiction, they don't really change a whole lot. And Expedition 33 is like, you know, we've had turn-based before and we've had changes within turn-based combat, but Expedition 33 I feel like is different in a way. Like, I feel like it's, you know, a new IP. It does a lot of new stuff for its game that I feel like these other ones are, you know, just better sequels or just do a little more. But it's kind of, I feel like the first games, and, you know, for Split Fiction, forget the name on the top of my head that came before, a very similar concept, is what really would win this a lot more. And maybe I'm just missing this whole, you know, game direction section of what it's supposed to be. But for me, I'm also going to give it to 33. Okay, the last one, the Big Kahuna. The Big Kahuna. This one is really difficult, because the way I have voted so far, and there was a lot of things from 33 within the first few hours that I really like. And I feel like Expedition 33 is going to win this category. I really do feel like it's going to win it. I feel like a lot of people are going to vote for it. But for me personally, for what the game is in its entirety, not just broken down into these sections, for its entirety, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is my game of the year. It is up my alley. It is a fun RPG. I'm a sucker for knights in like a medieval Europe type thing. The openness of it, the choices you can make. Henry's a freaking awesome character. It's so fun to play. But I understand why people don't like kind of what Kingdom Come is, especially it's a little more, not hardcore, because I think it's less than even the first one. But there are some things I don't think people are going to like as much with, like, the first person, or just, you know, certain parts of the combat they may not like. But for me, dude, I love this game, man. And I hope they make another one. Like, I can't wait to see what they do next. Like, whether it's a third one or, you know, which could be a different game entirely. And I say third one, you know, but same type of game, right? But I'd love to see what they do next. And I have to give it to it. Maybe 33, if I finished it, would be it. But for me, dude, like, this game is awesome. And so that's going to be my game of the year. And we'll see what happens. I'd be shocked if it won it, to be honest. I really would. But I would love it if they did, man. I'd love it if they did. But those are my votes, dude. Let me know in the comments what your game of the year is. I think all of these are worthy of the choice. Like I said, I haven't played much of Hades. I haven't played much of Silksong. I have played Donkey Kong. I do like that game, but I wouldn't put it over Kingdom Come for me. So that's going to be my vote. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm interested to see what you say, what your choices would have been and what they are, right? There's really, at the end of the day, there's really no wrong choice. They're on here. Each one of them has a lot of merits for those games, but that's my choice. So let me know what you guys think. We'll see what happens. I'm definitely going to view the Game Awards and be around and probably stream that. So that'll be fun and see what they show. So we'll see you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.